Hi guys, one of the big issues contained within the whole topic of immigration is housing. Why have successive governments not prioritised British people? Why have they not put those who are on the housing list into homes? Why haven't they provided homes for the homeless, veterans, others who are in a very difficult situation living on the street? Why have they not prioritised those groups as opposed to asylum seekers and refugees? Well, Zoe Gardner, a campaigner for refugee rights, was on Sky News where she dropped a few truth bombs once again. Have a listen.
We have accommodation for over 130,000 homeless British households at the current time, and we're capable of finding that. Now, listen, that accommodation isn't in good enough conditions. At the moment, this year, I think we're predicted to sell off 8 times more council houses than we're going to build. So we have a huge problem with the government failing to invest in sufficient properties and accommodation that local authorities have available, whether that's for local homeless people or for asylum seekers who are homeless. This is a long-term problem that we're facing, but it simply isn't good enough to say that 30,000 people have to become, the lightning rod for, direction of our entire politics in this country. Like the last month, everything that we've heard, everything that the government has put out, everything that the opposition has been talking about, the one story has been these 30,000 people. 3 times that many people go to see the football at Wembley Stadium every weekend, and we manage it fine. This is just simply not a good enough excuse that it is too many people to handle. The idea that 30,000 people can be leading our entire country to ruin in the way that it seems to be at the moment is a shocking failure, and it's just not good enough.
Wonderful. 2 points that she raised here which are really important. The fact that the government could end homelessness if it wanted to. It's a political decision not to do that. Countries like Finland have ended homelessness. How did they achieve that? By actually giving people homes. It's as simple as that. Okay, it's not that simple, but you provide people with homes and you provide people with the facilities around that to support, for example, when it comes to mental health. But it's a political decision to allow homelessness to continue. And people on the right, and also ordinary members of the public, are asking the question, why are you prioritizing foreigners over British people who are homeless? And the government, if they resolve the problem of homelessness, which they can, it's a political decision not to, it's not an economic one, it's a political one. If they had resolved that, then that question would go away. But it's not going away because it's not being resolved. And the other shocking figure that she raised here, that Zoe raised, is the fact that more and more council houses are being sold off than being rebuilt or being built for people. So the people on the housing list, the waiting list, is extending, is getting bigger and bigger. And this is creating anger. People are, hey, I can't even get a council house. In the past, my parents or grandparents could get a council house. I'm waiting years for one. And then I see asylum seekers being put in housing. I've seen asylum seekers being put in... And this creates resentment. Why is the government allowing houses to be sold off and not rebuilt? Once again, this is a political decision. People say, well, it costs money. Yes, it costs money. But the government's responsibility is to provide housing for people. It's to provide a quality of life for people. If they don't, what's the point in having a government? I've constantly criticised the Tories when it came to food banks. The number of food banks exploded when the Conservatives were in charge. They stopped doing what they were supposed to be doing, as providing people with a basic standard of living where they didn't fall into poverty. The Conservatives were happy for people to fall into poverty and allow charities to pick up the slack. If the government does not resolve the issue of housing, it's going to allow people like Nigel Farage and the far right to say, well, look, the government is not on your side. They're prioritizing foreigners over you. What about all our homeless? Why aren't they putting them in homes? We are the party. We are the ones who will stand up for you. Of course they won't. Nigel Farage doesn't give a crap about homeless people. If he became Prime Minister, do you think he would end homelessness? Unless it becomes an issue of we don't like to see homeless people, not a priority of providing support for homelessness, for homeless people. So it's not a case of a humanitarian approach. The only way he would deal with it is if people have an issue with seeing homeless people on their doorstep. But he's not going to fix these problems. He's going to rant and rave from the sidelines, hoping to take advantage of the situation, as he always does. But the government have a duty to provide homes for people. It's a political decision not to do that. And if they allow this to fester, Reform and others are going to take advantage of that situation. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.